Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. Police in Trinidad and Tobago are working hard to remove illegal high-powered weapons from the streets. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Friday, 20th October 2023. Brought to you in association with our friends at Antillian Group. Details when we return.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Welcome back. Another cache of weapons have been found in Santa Cruz. This time, the cache includes bulletproof vests, police uniforms, boots, sirens, police swivel lights, and rifles. TV6's Alexander Brujual brings us the details from a TTPS news conference.
Tuesday afternoon, a forested area of Cangrejal Road in Lower Santa Cruz by officers of The find was made on Tuesday afternoon in a forested area of Cangrejal Road in Lower Santa Cruz by officers of the Interagency Task Force, the Guard and Emergency Branch, and the Northeastern Division Task Force. It included 4 AK-47 rifles, 1 50 caliber Desert Eagle, a .45mm revolver, 2 shotguns, 23 rounds of 5.56mm ammunition, 38 assault rifle magazines, assault rifle parts, several police kits, 4 bulletproof vests, and blue swivel lights. At the IATF headquarters in Aranguez that night, officials spread out the items to be examined by a team of senior officers including Commissioner of Police Earl Harewood Christopher, Senior Superintendent Roger Alexander, and Senior Superintendent Cohen Francis. The police commissioner once again thanked members of the public for providing the police service with information that led to the discovery and continued her plea with citizens to work with the TTPS in the reduction of crime. On Tuesday night, Police Commissioner Harewood Christopher thanked the men and women involved in the police operation that led to the discovery.
Now, this is just evident of our implementation of our violent crime reduction strategy, where we are focusing on the removal of firearms off the streets. So tonight, I just want to thank my officers again. I have been asking them to go beyond, and they continue. I want to thank the citizens who continue to give the information. Again, we continue to ask for the support of the citizens. And I want to tell the criminally minded that we are onto them, we are relentless, we will continue.
She said, quote, "The strategies and the violent crime reduction plan are working, and I have every confidence as we continue to update our strategies and implement our plans, we will continue to get the desired results. We will maintain our intensity in the seizure of illegal firearms, and we will relentlessly pursue those bent on being involved in criminal activity. We expect that this seizure will again significantly impact the incidence of violent crimes committed with the use of firearms, especially homicides and home invasions. This morning, officers seized more ammunition and a firearm in Fabo Village in San Juan and arrested a 28-year-old man from the community. TV6 News was informed that at about 5 a.m., officers of the IATF and the Air Support Unit made their way into the area and executed a search warrant at the home of the known suspect. There they found and seized a pistol loaded with 13 rounds of 9mm ammunition, a bulletproof vest, a quantity of marijuana, as well as 2 caps, 4 patches, and 1 belt, all bearing the marking TTR, which is synonymous with the TNT regiment. Police also found and seized 1 U.S. defense badge and 4 passports, including a U.S. passport. Last Wednesday, hours after prison officer Steve Phipps was shot in Barataria, Officers of the IATF and the Guard and Emergency Branch seized a cache of weapons and ammunition in Santa Cruz. Then, police said that 13 firearms were seized, including 2 AK-47 rifles, 2 Draco rifles, 1 M16 rifle, 2 Uzi submachine guns, 1 Beretta submachine gun, 1 Ruger caliber rifle, and 1 Ruger Precision 50 caliber rifle. The seizure also included 1,152 rounds of assorted ammunition, including .45mm, 50 caliber, 12 gauge, 7.62mm, 9mm, and 6.5 caliber armor-piercing ammunition. Several major firearm components were also seized, including 10 laser pointers, 23 rifle stocks, 53 trigger guards, 13 selectors, 15 triggers, 4 rear sights, and 4 buffers. No arrests have been made in connection with that find. At a similar impromptu media briefing held at the Police Administration Building in Port of Spain, Commissioner Harewood Christopher described that find as historic. Alexander Bruswell, TV6 News.
In other news, Canada CARICOM Summit starts. More in this short ZNS News report.
Leaders from the 15-member CARICOM bloc, including Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis, are in Ottawa, Canada, preparing for the inaugural Canada CARICOM Summit on Wednesday. The event, co-chaired by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and CARICOM Chairman Prime Minister of Dominica Roosevelt Skerritt, will highlight the strong bonds between the Caribbean and Canada, prioritize climate change discussions, and explore ways to improve access to financing for small island developing states in the Caribbean. The high-level meetings follow successful deliberations between Canada and CARICOM at the recent CARICOM Heads of Government meeting here in Nassau this past February.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
In association with our friends at
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Terence Drew, and his delegation to the CARICOM Canada Summit 2023 arrived in Canada's capital, Ottawa, and would have participated in the live stream opening ceremony on the 18th of October. The summit is being held in Canada for the first time and will be jointly chaired by Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt, the current chairman of CARICOM, and by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of Canada. Glenn Bart of SKN Newsline reports.
Prime Minister Drew indicated that himself and Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Denzel Douglas on arrival met with Canada's Chief of Protocol Sebastian Carriere and with former Governor-General of Canada David Johnson. Key addresses at the opening ceremony will be presented by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt, and by CARICOM Secretary-General Dr. Carla Bennett. On the agenda for the summit are matters relating to the crisis in Haiti, regional security, challenges relating to achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and trade and investment discussions with Canadian business leaders and investors. For some time, Canada has been seeking to develop closer relations with the Caribbean community, using its historical and trade ties with the region. Earlier this year, Prime Minister Trudeau participated in the 44th Conference of Heads of Government of CARICOM. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
Over in Jamaica, the National Water Commission's boss, Mark Barnett, has been temporarily booted from the entity. More in this CVM Live news item with Natalia Clark.
Long-serving president of the National Water Commission, Mark Barnett, has found himself sinking in hot water as his integrity and moral authority is being questioned. Having served in this capacity since 2015, the NWC board sent Barnett on administrative leave as a damning report from the Integrity Commission alleges he not only breached a building permit knowingly, but also owes the NWC over $850,000 as at July 13, 2023. Director of Investigation Kevin Stevenson alleges the sum owed was incurred at Barnett's 11 Charlemont Drive apartment complexes in Kingston 6. It's $211,000 for the supply of wastewater and nearly $668,000 for the supply of water. Chairman at NWC Michael Shaw penned Barnett a letter on Friday explaining his administrative leave is effective immediately and is necessary to allow the board time to review and make a final decision on the report from the Integrity Commission. Barnett was instructed to return all government property and assets. Meanwhile, outlined in the IC report is Barnett's explanation for the non-payment. Barnett was informed his apartment could not be serviced by NWC for wastewater services due to the location of the property. Barnett then submitted a design proposal to connect to the wastewater pipeline. The project was successfully completed and reportedly cost Barnett $18 million as he had to foot the bill. When he received the outstanding balance from NWC, he argued the entity has benefited from his investment through an increase in customer base, and so the balance should be offset against the capital he invested. Despite his reasoning, however, the report concludes, quote, there is sufficient basis for NWC to consider Mr. Barnett's moral authority to lead that entity, and whether by virtue of his actions, the entity has been brought into disrepute. I'm Natalia Clark for CVM News.
In the meantime, the National Honors and Awards ceremony served as a unifying event for the entire nation of Jamaica, coming together to pay tribute to individuals who have enriched the lives of the people of Jamaica with their exceptional talent and unwavering dedication. Raheem White of CVM Live reports.
The National Honors and Awards Ceremony, an annual event held with great pride and reverence, saw the gathering of a multitude of people from across Jamaica. This year, the spotlight shone brightly on remarkable individuals who have made extraordinary contributions to their communities and the country at large. Among the distinguished honorees, some of the most notable figures included Tyrus Riley, Wayne Marshall, and Marcia Griffiths, whose talents have made an incredible impact on Jamaica. Minister of Youth and Culture Olivia Babsy Grange commended the awardees for their determination, commitment, and dedication. She also encouraged Jamaicans to celebrate the awardees for their contribution to the country.
When you sit there and you watch Jamaicans who have achieved so much, stepping up to receive their medals, it brings such pride and such great feeling of achievement. They are great people and they are more good people than bad. And so I celebrate and I want all Jamaica to celebrate and to be happy for those who have received awards.
Attended by dignitaries, government officials, and most importantly, citizens whose lives have been touched by these remarkable individuals, with stirring performances, heartfelt speeches, all paying tribute to the enduring legacies of these awardees. Raheem White, CVM News.
The Alliance for Change leader Kemraj Ramjatan expresses deep concern over the surge of undocumented Venezuelans in rural areas of Guyana receiving birth certificates. HGP's Tiana Cole delves deeper into this issue in her report.
Kemraj Ramjatan, who was at the time speaking on his program Alliance on the Move, said that he has been getting reports of Venezuelans being granted birth certificates forms, which is a grave concern given its sensitive elections and border controversy matters with Venezuela.
PPP officials preparing birth certificate forms for these Venezuelans at the office of the Prime Minister's representative there in Region 1.
Ramjatan stressed the need for constitutional reform.
Constitutional reform, especially in post-elections coalition, and the need for legislation to facilitate biometrics and the residency requirement for a new voters list, all prior to the next national and regional elections.
Also speaking on the program was executive member of the Alliance for Change and former head of the Environmental Protection Agency, Dr. Vincent Adams, who said the situation is a serious threat to the country and urged the government to pay keen attention.
They grew up with the belief, without even knowing the history, with the belief that their security belongs to them.
Adams noted that there is nothing wrong with accommodating persons from different countries, but it must be done in the right way.
Essequibo is probably one of our least populated counties. It is the least populated county. So it's easy for, in the near future, for us to have a majority Venezuelans.
Just recently, Guyana rejected to have bilateral direct talks with Venezuela on the border controversy, but will rely on the World Court as the venue for resolution, as decided under the 1966 Geneva Agreement. Diana Ko reporting for AHGP Nightly News.
Hi, I'm Eddie Frederick, wishing you a restful weekend. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean.
In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's a service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.